let's talk about Hunter Biden, who's not using the right facial products. He's not making any good decisions. As a matter of fact, he's really just into his crack, his hookers, and his guns. And there the three shall meet under the law. The law says you're not, I don't know about the hookers and the guns, but you're not allowed to have the crack and the gun at the same time, as it turns out. Something he's apparently admitted to many times. And what we read now, Jonna, is that it's on the list of things he's being investigated for as all the Hunter Biden stuff, all of it, all the weird stuff overseas, seems to have boiled down to whether he broke gun laws or drug laws, right? Have I accurately summarized where we think the federal investigation is?
Well, pretty much. And I think it's summarized thusly because those are the easy
tax. Forgot about the tax law. Sorry, go ahead.
Right, the tax evasion. But those are the easy charges that can be made against Hunter Biden, because trust me, when you prosecute Hunter Biden, you're not just prosecuting Hunter Biden. Like, Hunter Biden's case is going to have tentacles. It's not like Nancy Pelosi's husband getting popped for DWI, where the worst thing that's going to happen is, oh, sorry, old man, but we're going to take your license for 90 days. This is way bigger than that. So I don't know if, the feds are going to try to get the easy stuff, the drugs, the prostitution, the firearms, the stuff that's not going to affect America as much as just sort of a way to get around it and finally prosecute this loser, or if it's going to really, really blow up. And I'm a little scared by that, but I think, we're going to have to see, because this is just the tip of the iceberg, what they got. And they wouldn't have any of this. They wouldn't have any of this, Megyn, if he wasn't stupid enough to drop his laptop off at a third party place, that a disinterested party's establishment. So
exactly, that's where they're getting all this evidence of his bad behavior. And in a way, Mark, the feds are in a tough position on the gun and the drug stuff, because the evidence is pretty clearly there, but it's not really the kind of thing they would normally run around prosecuting. Right. I don't think. So now it's a tough situation, because they don't want to look like they're doing special favors for him.
Right. Listen, if I represent him, I'm celebrating right now if their investigation is now solely focused on guns and crack, because number one, how serious, really? And number two, who knows whether they're really going to bring those charges? They're not in the business going after those types of cases typically. Third, it's not clear. In other words, in his book, he brags about using crack every 15 minutes or whatever. But do we really know that he answered untruthfully when he said that he wasn't? Listen, I'd rather be on the prosecution side, but I'm a defense lawyer. So I'm thinking, like, in his mind, maybe during the time period that he answered the question, he was either in denial.
Explain the question. They don't know what we're talking about. Where he said no.
You say it. I don't have it in front of me, but
I'll tell them. In 2018, he responded no to a question on, I think it was his gun application record, that asked, "Are you an unlawful user of or addicted to marijuana or any depressant, stimulant, narcotic drug, or any other controlled substance?" And he said no. Meanwhile, 5 years earlier, he'd been discharged from the Navy Reserve for testing positive for cocaine. Family members have spoken out about his history of drug use. According to his memoir, Beautiful Things, he was smoking crack every 15 minutes during the period in which he bought the gun. So by his own hand, which wrote allegedly Beautiful Things, he admits he was smoking crack when he said no to that question.
Hold on. No. And now people are going to roll their eyes, but hold on. I'm a lawyer. So are you, Megyn. Let's read that question again. Didn't ask during a time period. They asked,
yes, they did.
As he's answering that question, as he's answering that question, read the first part, and then we'll go to the second part. Are you
an unlawful user of, doesn't have to just be an addict, user of or addicted to marijuana?
Nope, one at a time. Are you, now they didn't say what period of time, are you, as you're signing this, an unlawful user of drugs, right? And his answer would be no, because maybe that day or that week he had quit. They can't prove otherwise. Second, stop it. Second, no, I got you. Now, the second part is, are you an addict? Number one, denial is part of, the whole thing. So does he really label himself as an addict? Had he stopped in that brief moment, whether it be a day or two? Does he want the stigma of being labeled an addict? Does he believe he can conquer the addiction by not calling himself an addict? These are ambiguous terms. Stop rolling your eyes. I win. Badly worded question.
Guilty, Jonna.
No.
How's that going to fly?
Appeal to somebody.
I've always said that if I'm ever in trouble, I'm calling Mark, and that is why. Because you can create a great argument out of nothing. Look, he wasn't sober for the 5 minutes that he filled out that application. Although I will give you this. That is the world's dumbest question, because nobody is going to say, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, I am an illegal user of drugs." They're just going to rip up the application. They're not going to testify truthfully on that kind of application. And it's up to the people who are vetting those applications to do a little digging to make sure you're not crazy on drugs.
Okay, but wait, I'm going to let you finish your point, but let me just interject. It's in large part to his own father that he even had to answer that question, and that lying in response to that Form 4473 question is a federal felony. This is from a Charles C.W. Cook article on National Review. That's punishable by up to 10 years in federal prison. So take it up with daddy. Once again, your daddy issues are ruining your life. Go ahead, Jonna.
No, and that's a great point. My point was made, and that's exactly right. Now, I don't know if the daddy issues are ruining his life or if he's ruining his daddy's life, because what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah, that's right.
I would ask all of you, as I would ask my jurors, do you think you can come up with a way to word that question with more detail or in a better way? And everybody would say, well, yeah. I would say, have you used in the last week? Have you, whatever you want to specify. Since they didn't, that question sucks, especially for prosecution. And I know prosecutors are thinking that.
Gathering around the dinner table has been the catalyst for change since the beginning of time. Ronald Reagan once said, all great change in America starts at the dinner table. If we can return to eating meals together as a family, maybe we can create the conversation and change we'd like to see in ourselves, in our country. Perhaps it feels a little overwhelming to get everyone together and still make a great meal. But Good Ranchers has got your back. They will make it easy for you. Pull out a Good Ranchers package of beef, chicken, or seafood. You season with a little salt and pepper, or you won't need to season at all if you get them pre-marinated kind, which I love. And then you cook it however you want. Tastes amazing. Every box you get is superior quality, flavor, and value. Good Ranchers is a company that supports American agriculture and business. You're already buying meat, so why not support an American company like Good Ranchers? Use my code Megyn to get 30% off $30, I should say, off your order, plus free express shipping. Make gatherings at the table easy and fun with Good Ranchers. Go to goodranchers.com/Megyn to bring your family and friends to the table and eat some seriously delicious food. goodranchers.com/MEGYN. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.